The United States Commission for International Religious Freedom. Is this becoming a farce? If you look at the number of international experts it has and how many of them are either educated in Pakistan or have their origins in Pakistan or Pakistan field, you know that this organization has been captured. We know that state has already been captured. We know that the Soros gang has been captured. So what is left? With all these things, we should really feel lucky, me that is an Indian American, that this is the littlest impact these people have been able to bring. And one wonders why. Well, it's because it's a castle of lies. I'm going to walk you through the latest USCIRF report findings, who wrote them, and their antecedents. A small request to all of you to please like this video, and you will be amazed at what you see, how well this one community has captured the USCIRF. While the politicians are always looking for the next election, sometimes they are missing the forest for the trees. That's how I think. Here we go. Who are the experts who are trying to defame India? First off, there is the usual anti-India trope. There are some, Caucasians too who have this breed, because see, this is the effect of Seattle and CENTO, where much of the money that is given to Pakistan finds its way back into the United States. Of course, there is going to be some loyalty. This is Pavlovian response, if you ask me. That many people in the DC Beltway actually think Pakistan is right and India is wrong, and that the genocide of Hindus, whether it is Pakistan East or Pakistan West, is all right. This is their logic. I mean, they may have some family now of Hindu origin, but still the thought process doesn't seem to have changed. Anyway, this is how DC has become. I mean, the draining of the swamp process cannot start fast enough. But first, we need to have somebody who will be willing to acknowledge that there is a problem. The first one, Seema Hassan. Well, the Seema is spelled a little differently, one E. And this person, let's take a quick look at what her antecedents are. She's a Pakistani American appointed as South Asia Policy Analyst first in 2023 and then promoted to Senior Analyst in 2024. Before this, she served as an intern at the South and Central Asia Bureau Office of the Pakistan Affairs of US State Department. So these are all direct recruits from US State. There is some sort of a pipeline, looks like, and somewhere somebody juices it and then they end up in all these coveted posts, and then they start doing the anti-India sniping. At this point of time, the Department of State under Blinken is very anti-India. Maybe that's because they are getting their behind handed to them in their hand. They didn't like it. They don't like the fact that India is trying to be independent, whatever it is. This is how the thing is acting now. The department is acting, and soon I'm sure there will be a change. Now, Seema has been closely linked to the US State Department, having previously served as a congressional staffer at the Joint Economic Committee as a Democratic representative in 2019. More importantly, in 2021, Seema was granted Critical Language Scholarship, a program of the US State Department, pursuing which she came to the American Institute of Indian Studies to learn Urdu. Doesn't even know Urdu. Wow. A year and a half later, she was appointed as South Asia Policy Analyst at USCIRF. See, this is how these DC Beltway experts get created. You read a few things here, read a few things there, get completely influenced by the professor who's teaching you. Complete book knowledge, no knowledge of what is happening, and first and more importantly, a refusal to admit to their own Sanatani antecedents. More importantly, the refusal to admit that they were Sanatanis themselves a few generations ago. I mean, this shows you the lack of depth of how they look at a topic, and you give them such an important post as a commissioner in USCIRF. Well, this tells you that all these jobs are a farce. This whole organization is a farce. It's a taxpayer waste. And like many other things that are going waste, this too should be disbanded. My 2 cents. Seema Hassan was groomed following the same blueprint before being appointed at the USCIRF. Her another one, 2020 policy analyst Harrison Akins, covered a similar journey before bullshitting on India. Like Seema, he's also a graduate of Johns Hopkins and came to India in 2016 under the same CLS program. Another commonality, both their trips aligned with visa denials to USCIRF officials. So the USCIRF officially does not get visas to visit India, and they bellyache about this a lot. And not only that, if you look at their documentation research, all the reference links point to known left loony ecosystem driven articles. I don't have to tell you the name. Why give them publicity, right? You know who I'm talking about. So this guy, Akins, was groomed by former Pakistani diplomat 𝗣𝗲𝗿 𝗜𝘂𝘁, and he is an alumnus of 2016 CLS Urdu program, and they'll speak some sort of Urdu which probably will be less comprehended and more nodded upon, because they think, oh yeah, the white guy is speaking Urdu, wow, what an effort he's making, and so on and so forth. So this is how this organization has been growing. USCIRF's affair with Pakistanis and terror-linked Islamists isn't new. Two other names in this special report also have roots in Pakistan, and incidentally, they happen to have brazen anti-India views. Mahmood El-Sanusi and also Asif Mahmood. Just take a look at this. Asif Mahmood, you have seen many of his pictures with Kamala Harris. I've shown you that in some of my previous episodes. So you know who this individual is. He's a Pakistani national appointed as a commissioner in May 2024. Perhaps the USCIRF is trying to pack us. It is trying to pack itself with Pakistani bias so that they can somehow keep spewing venom at India. You know what? India, you can't stop USCIRF from functioning and spewing bile. You have to do your own thing. India's International Religious Freedom Monitoring Institute or something like that. Make it like a nice sounding Sanskrit word that they'll be forced to say that, and that's how you get your back at them. And then start writing about how US treats its minorities, how Canada treats its minorities, how UK treats its minorities. Spare no one. Start doing this, guys. Some of you IAS guys are incredibly talented. It's time you got off of your butt and did some real good work. Anyway, this is a positive reinforcement of your talent. Don't think of it as a criticism. As Asif Mahmood, who is this guy? He's a practitioner, physician, human rights activist, interracial and interfaith, blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. These are all the same word that they'll go and pick from some website to make it sound like they have secular credentials. And look, the way this has evolved is, it has been, Muslim way for a long time. That is, the minorities were given a free ride across India, and the Waqf board is a result of that. 2013, the UPA 2 made a mess of the whole thing and basically gave them the country in a platter. Now Modi government is trying to even the plate, and guess what? These guys are up in uproar. Who cares? Who cares a shit about what you think? Okay, this Asif Mahmood character and Mohammad El-Sanusi, another one who's been appointed as a commissioner. This guy is a graduate of Sharia and law from International Islamic University. You know what? Why do you want to call yourself USCIRF? Why don't you call it 𝗤𝗙𝗄𝗃 IRF? Okay, why don't you do that? Makes more sense. You have loaded yourself with all these people. There's nothing else to say. I mean, and another thing, if it takes so many of you to badmouth India and still the needle isn't moving, what's wrong? What's wrong with you guys? That means your credibility is not zero now. It is going negative. That's how bad USCIRF's performance is. Lousy people, you don't even pick up the phone when we call you. You are supposed to be doing our bidding, right? My foot. You're wasting my taxpayer money. Pak Ashran, Niala Mohammed, this lady wrote, I think, last year's report, if I remember correctly. Basically, the USCIRF is sold to the Islamic lobby. And this is just going to continue. You are seeing more and more outrage, and they are pissed off at the Democrats because Democrats are not stopping Israel from going after the Hezbollah, the Hamas, and the Iranians, and so on and so forth. And their last whip was that they will not vote for them. Go ahead, don't vote, stay home. That way Trump will come to power, and then you will see what exactly being balanced in somebody's outlook means. Anyway, this is how things go, and I have told you all there is to say about USCIRF. I hope that Trump comes and completely disbands this unit. It's a waste of money. Really, it's a waste of money. And it's not just Hindus who are getting massacred in Pakistan and in Bangladesh. It's Christians too. It's Buddhists too. All minorities. So this is not something that should be looked at in such a light manner. USCIRF has completely failed in its objective, and it's a good candidate to be canned. Save some money. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.